recently you've seen me talk about these deeper things that the material successes won't actually give you a better life. Who's seen the research on that, by the way? Type one, if you've seen the kind of research that like material success doesn't make you happy. You've seen the science of well-being. You've maybe seen the studies that show like, okay, once you make like 70K, it doesn't increase happiness and stuff. There's problems with those studies, I will admit. You know, you've heard this before, like money doesn't make people happy. It's certainly, it can be nice to have, because if your mother's working in some shit job, you having money to retire her's like gonna make you feel good, undeniably. And not having money will cause unhappiness in a lot of areas. But it isn't what it's cracked up to be. I thought today that it's very interesting that Tate went very viral, giving such like a counterintuitive message. Like he's telling young men to free themselves from the matrix by making money, and acting as if like money and material success is not literally the fucking definition of the matrix. So it's very interesting. You want to escape the matrix, you don't follow Tate at all. You do the opposite of what he's doing. You stop giving a fuck about money. That's how you cure. That's how you get rid of the matrix. I've got friends in Thailand telling you, like, you know, escape the West, escape the matrix. Imagine thinking that the travel industry isn't part of the matrix. You stop giving a fuck about wanting to like go travel and you know, live that young person life. It's interesting because like you absolutely do. I won't tell you that you don't need money. I don't think it's necessarily a bad desire. It's what you're going to spend it on. And the issue is that most people, like once they do start to make some money, they don't spend it on the right things. So when you don't have much money, it's like, okay, you pretty much have to spend it on the right things. It goes mostly to rent and everything. But it's interesting. I think we can all admit that even when you don't have much money, a fair amount of your money is still going to bullshit right now. Even when you don't have much, it's like you still have the hoodie that's $50, which you didn't need. You still have like the Apple earphones, which you didn't need. You still have like the newest computers and phones, and you got a nice pair of trainers. Bro, your trainers are more expensive than mine. Guarantee it. Guarantee, like, what? How many people we got on this call? 60? Guarantee 50 of the people in this call have got trainers more expensive than I've got. Because you're not using your money for freedom, I am. Guarantee, what, 20, 30 people in this call have got, oh, almost everyone, like, has got rent more expensive than mine, because I don't have rent. Do you see how powerful you can become when, like, you still make money, you're still an entrepreneur, you're still a productive person, you're still working hard. The market's still going to pay you for the value you're giving, but you don't need the money, and so now you've got pure freedom. Do you see the difference? Or you can be a slave to the Bugatti and the watches. Because for these people, the issue is once they see someone who has this thing that's slightly better for them, Tate meets another super rich guy who's got a Bugatti, which is slightly more expensive because he got like, you know, some other businessman got like the rare one. Tate's still going to feel bad about it. Iman's watches collections are super, super expensive. He meets someone whose watch is more expensive than his, he will feel somewhat insecure about it. They'll never say this out loud, but it is the truth. Of course it is. Because when you play that game and someone's got something more expensive than yours, then you automatically have to feel bad. It's just how the game works. So we've got a brilliant question there. How do you use money for freedom, education, and business? I've just realized today the single greatest thing that I think you can spend money on, or I mean, probably one of the top 10, is what we'll call feedback. Feedback from teachers. This is one of the highest ROIs in my opinion. ROI. So, who knows about the concept of deliberate practice, or let's say of mastery? 10,000 hours to master a skill. Who's heard that before? Type 1. Or like wave your hand at the screen just so I can see from the people. Wave your hand at the screen if you've heard of the thing of like, yeah, it takes 10,000 hours to master its skill. You know, you want to master chess. Fair amount of people. We've all heard it somewhere. You know, it's not actually true exactly how it seems. It's not hours of practice. It's actually hours of what's called deliberate practice. It's a certain kind of practice that you have to do to actually make progress in virtually anything. And the most important characteristics of deliberate practice is feedback. You need to get, preferably live, it doesn't have to be live, but live is best, live feedback of someone, of a teacher, of a mentor, of a coach stood next to you and telling you, do it like this.